Basically, we have got quite an energy gap in terms of demand and supply. This is what we want to gap right now with other forms of energy. In the past, we have been relying on grid electricity, which is generated from coal and water hydro. So we are now focusing on renewables.
And what sort of renewables have potential in Zimbabwe? I imagine it's a lovely sunny country, so I imagine that solar is one of them. But give us an idea of the potential of renewable energy in the country.
We've got basically three prominent renewable sources. The first one, of course, being solar, as you said. The next one is biomass. We've got plenty of inputs in there. The third one is mini hydros. We've got a lot of rivers that we can harness for electricity generation. So on those three, we are focusing on.
And in terms of rural areas, are these sources of energy that are well suited to, I guess, micro-generation projects all around the country?
Quite so. Like biomass, there's plenty biomass around the whole country. For instance, we have got cow dung all over, almost in every household, that we can harness. There are a lot of vegetation that we can harness on, coming from cheap sources. We also have got in every local authority sewage that we want to harness for biogas generation, for electricity generation, and fertilizer as well. In terms of mini hydros, we've got a lot of small rivers around that can generate electricity for smallholder electricity use.
And give us an idea of the level of demand there is for a consistent supply of electricity in rural areas. Mobile phones are becoming increasingly useful, and I know in Africa especially they're vital when you talk about telephone banking, or you want to get medical help, or indeed get advice on the weather. So give us an idea of the level of demand and how that has changed over the past decade.
Yes, our rural areas are turning commercial, and that's our new hope in terms of Zimbabwe. We want really to turn the rural areas into new urban developments, new commercial areas, new frontiers for development for our country, to turn around our economy. Yes, all other technologies we are talking about, like mobile technologies, quite widely spread in Zimbabwe. Mobile banking, e-services. We want to turn the whole country into an e-Zimbabwe. Technology-driven, a service economy. So all that needs energy. Energy is central to such strategies for our nation.
And when we're talking about the rural grid, is it a case, do you need to extend the national state grid to all of the villages, all of the rural towns, or are you thinking about perhaps focusing some micro-generation units and creating mini-grids all around the country, which in one sense are more resilient to shocks?
Sure, we've got a parallel process, one that tries to extend the current electricity grid to as far as it can go. And parallel to that, we are looking at off-grid programs, which are really driven by renewables, the solars, the biogas, and what have you, that will become on their own independent producing centers and backup centers to the grid system. So it's a parallel process. And we want that to happen. We want this to happen yesterday.
Yeah. Finance is such a big issue here at the climate talks in Doha. I'm sure we'll find out next week what new financial mechanisms or at least pledges have been put in place, if anything. Tell me a bit about how much these projects you're working on, how much are they going to cost? What kind of financial help does Zimbabwe need? Does it need financial help? Have you got these plans already?
Okay. From a financial perspective, we're taking two strategies. One that will mobilize local funding. There's a lot of pension funds lying around that can be mobilized to be deployed sustainably to rural development. That's one approach that is already ongoing right now. And the next strategy is to attract external investment. We want to create an environment that makes it financially sensible for a private investment to come into this sector. And that's one of the reasons why we're here, to engage and attract them.
And we were talking off camera. I think there have been a number of companies in recent years who have perhaps not had the best experience in Zimbabwe, and there has been a difficult political situation, shall we say, in Zimbabwe, I guess for the past, at least the past decade. What is the situation now in the moment in terms of investing in Zimbabwe? If I'm an external company, I want to invest in the country, can I be confident that my investment will be safe?
Quite so, and I can give you that assurance. A lot of what is going on around are really perceptions. Friends, those are perceptions. Please engage Zimbabweans. Come and see it for yourselves. We're people willing to cooperate globally, willing to work with everyone for win-win relationships. We are here trying to create an environment that assures that. So I would say, please, come and see it for yourself.